لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا ومولانا محمدا عبده ورسوله أما بعد والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I know it's been a long night, hence I will keep this as short and as concise as I can make it. I just want to make a few points, inshallah, and then I will let you relax. Only if you will engage with me through the process. Otherwise, we'll extend it all the way to Fajr, inshallah. Okay, good. I'm sure many of us know profiles, and if we don't know profiles personally, then I'll just give you a little bit of a little narrative, so it just gives you a better appreciation of the profiles and about the time committed. So when, as young as some of these boys sat here, maybe even younger, the first thing they start is obviously recognizing the letters of the Quran. That can take weeks, months. Some of you are fathers here, most likely. And you remember how long it's taking your child to learn. And then it goes to the point of joining letters. And then they will spend some time over the tree, looking at the makharij, the sifat, understanding the rules of awqaf. And then they'll start to memorize, one word at a time, joining a few words, making an ayah, joining an ayah to another ayah. Soon they memorized a surah. Before they know it, they memorized a juz of the Quran. But it takes years. It takes a long time. Sometimes it can take from starting with al-Ifta to becoming hafiz of Quran, having done your door as well. Sometimes it can take 15, 16 years, 17 years. It's a long process. Likewise, a person who is studying to become a scholar of deen, he first starts understanding either the Urdu language or the Arabic language, understanding the rules of grammar, etymology, morphology. He starts to study adab, literature. He starts to study poetry, understanding the mannerisms of how poets write. And then he will start to engage with the ahadith at a very basic level. And he will engage with the Quran at a very basic level. And finally, he will work his way up until studying the 6 books of hadith, referred to as the canonical books of hadith. And he may also go beyond and do some takhassus, either do takhassus in hadith, or takhassus in fiqh, or takhassus in tafsir. Many ulama as well are then fortunate enough to write books. But all of it is finite, it's time that we have. It's all finite. If I was to ask you now, in the years that you've been alive, how much or how many a'mal have you done? How many hajj have you performed? How many fasts have you kept? If you look back now, even if you've been baligh for 20 or 30 years, there's only a certain amount of fasts a person has kept. And this is limited. And the Prophet ﷺ was talking to his companions, and he was mentioning the age of the people and the length of their duration of the past. How some had been fi sabilillah in the path of Allah for 150 years, for 200 years. We know Nuh ﷺ lived for 950 years. And he made da'wah for a considerable number of those years. So when the Sahaba are listening, they're thinking, subhanAllah, how are we going to compete? How are we going to compete with those nations? Even if we're born in Islam, many of them obviously converted to Islam, either from polytheism or no faith whatsoever. In their later ages, don't forget, Sayyid Abu Bakr was approximately the same age as the Prophet ﷺ. Sayyid Umar was approximately the same age as the Prophet ﷺ. Sayyid Usman was maybe a few years younger. So when the Prophet ﷺ declared prophethood, He declared prophethood at the age of 40. So his companions, his khas companions, would also be around that age. And we know that the two key Khulafa passed away around the age of 63. So when you live for 20, 23 years, there's only a certain amount you can do. Whilst they're deliberating over this and having some concern about this, now how many good deeds are we going to have? Are we going to fall short on the day of judgment? Allah SWT revealed this surah, which was recited today. Inna anzalna fi Laylatul Qadr. Sometimes people translate this Laylatul Qadr means the night of power. But in reality, it doesn't actually translate to power. This usually means about the taqdeer, fate, destiny, what Allah SWT has ordained for people. And when we see in this surah as well, near the end, it mentions that the angels descend min kulli amr. And also salam hatta matla'il fajr. Yes? Up until sunrise. So two things they do. Now the question I have for you, just like I said, I will make this interactive. The more interactive and the more you respond, the quicker we'll finish. And we could all be on our way. So now this is on you. Here it goes. The question is, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, indeed we reveal it on this great night, on Laylatul Qadr. What was revealed on the night on this night? The Quran was revealed. Good. That's good. So the Quran was revealed all in one go? Okay, we have a contradiction there now, don't we? We have a conflict here. On the one hand, you're saying Allah only revealed this on one night. And on the other hand, when I ask you the question, that was the Quran all revealed in one go, you say, no, it wasn't. So how do we do tatbiq? How do we correct this? How do we deal with this? We don't deal with it. That's a good answer.
I mean, I don't know.
Oh, okay. We just park it open. We don't deal with it. Whenever something in life comes that's a bit difficult, what do you do? Just park it up and move on. Or kick the can further down the road. Now, obviously, we can't do that, can we? No, we can't. So we need an answer. So we're going to try for another 30 seconds to see if we get an answer. How can we correlate this? That Allah has revealed the Quran on this night, which is singular. And in the same way, I agree with the brother that the Quran was not revealed on one night. But the verse is quite clear that it was revealed on one night. Sorry? First revelation. Okay, so this could be in reference to the first revelation, not necessarily to all the revelation. That's a fair analysis. Not necessarily accurate, but fair. Time travel. I'll help you out. So, all scriptures, the Injil, the Torah, the Furqan, all scriptures come from Allah from Mahfuz. This is what's referred to as a preserved tablet, which is in the presence of Allah. This preserved tablet contains all His directions, commandments, laws. Time after time, He sends them down onto earth via humans. All of the books were revealed in totality, in one go. Injil was given to Isa Islam in one go. The Prophet ﷺ received his text over how long? 23 years. Good. 22 years and 10 months to be precise, but I can accept 23 years if I'm out that good. Why did he, ﷺ, receive it over a longer period of time, whereas all the other nations received it all in one go, and that was it? What's the rationale? What's the hikmah behind that? You've been sat in the circles of the ulama. You have surely learned something from them. Sorry? He was the last prophet, fair enough, but why then does he receive it over a period of time? Young man there.
Gives guidance to the Prophet ﷺ in response to particular events in his life.
Good. Good. Exactly that. And the two answers are pretty accurate. The Prophet ﷺ's text was full to the end of time. He had to deal with all scenarios. He had to deal with all scenarios. It was not time restricted It was not geographically restricted. It was not a people restricted. It had to be for all time, for all men on all the planet. That is such a variable to be for all time, for all men, for all planet. Whereas when the Injil came, it came to Isa alayhi salam to direct it to Bani Israel, geographically limited, time limited, and therefore it could all come in one go to be delivered to one people. The Muslims in Mecca were a persecuted minority, were they not? The answer is yes. I was a leading question. Whenever I lead with a question, just nod. And then they became a virtual superpower in Medina and everything else in between. Therefore, Muslims will be persecuted minorities on the planet. And Muslims will also be in power and everything else in between. So this original revelation is in reference to the revelation from Allah Mahfuz onto the lower heavens, which means everything has been placed pre-eternity. So similarly, when the angels come down with the matters that have been decreed, that does not mean that they were decreed on Laylatul Qadr. That means they've been decreed in pre-eternity, and it's only now being brought to the angels to now action, operationalize. This soul needs to be taken. That soul needs to be taken. This soul needs to be delivered. This person will get this much risen. This person will marry this person. This person will end up divorcing. This person will die. All those matters are now being decreed to the Malaika. The Malaika getting their tasks, and they will go on their tasks. So it is a time to engage with Allah in order for His mercy to descend. For whatever He has decreed for us, we are trying to intervene. We're trying to intervene and say, yes, Allah, this was written pre-eternity. This was written before time. This was written before I came into any form of existence. This is before any creation occurred. But now that it's being operationalized, now that it's being realized, I wish to seek intervention. How do I seek to intervention? It's like when you're going to ask somebody a favor, the first thing you do is you give them some idea first. You gift him, don't you? You're not going to go ask somebody a favor and just go empty-handed. Let me tell you, the favor is never going to be granted. You always go, you say a nice thing to the person. Oh, mashallah, you're looking really good. It might not be. He might put on extra 5 kg. But you ain't going to tell him that. Oh, you're looking so young. It might not be. But you ain't going to tell him that. Because you want this person to do you a favor. So in the same way, what do? We offer our ibadah to Allah first. We do our acts of worship. We perform them to the best of our ability. We've spent 20 odd days coming regularly to the masjid. We've been listening to the tilawat of the Quran. We've been fasting. Most of us have probably been giving our zakah. We've been giving sadaqah. Later, we're trying to support projects like the masjid, inshallah, tomorrow. And now we turn and ask Allah. The other thing is also what happens is salam, peace descends. Some of the telltale signs that ulama tell us about when it is Laylatul Qadr is that it is quite a bright sky, which is unusual, isn't it? Why is it unusual for it to be a bright sky? I'm only asking this question so I can take a sip of this. I know it'll take at least 30 seconds before you answer.
It's usually night.
Sorry?
Nighttime.
It is nighttime, but sometimes nights are bright. Why is the night not bright? Because, yeah, true. It's dark everywhere on the planet. No? Okay. If you follow the cycle of the hilal, the moon, what happens? The moon, let's start from the beginning. The moon waxes. The moon is born. In conjunction, when the 3 celestial bodies, the earth, the sun, and the moon are in lined up, the moon disappears. No one sees the moon in the sky. Then, once there's slight movement, we see the hilal appear. And that's when we declare Shawwal. Okay, that's when we would declare Shawwal, when we see the hilal in the sky. And then the moon waxes. Yani it gets bigger. Until around the 13th, 14th, and 15th, it's reached what size? Full, bright. That's why those are referred to as Ayyamu Bid, which is why the Prophet ﷺ would fast on the 13th, 14th, and 15th of every month. that you expect the night to be bright. Why? Because the moon's there. Then the moon wanes, which means it starts to depreciate again. Until we get to the 26th, 27th, 28th, 29th, until it eventually disappears again and we wait for the new moon. Hence the reason to see brightness in the sky in these nights is unusual, because the moon is a slip of a moon. It's a slender moon. That's the first thing. The second sign is there's an unusual serenity that you experience, an unusual serenity. And finally, when the sun rises in such a way that the disk is there, where you tend not to see the blur of the rays on the edges of the disk, and you can quite clearly see the outline of the sun. These are 3 or 4 signs that have been mentioned so that we know when the night of power is. But obviously, tonight is I looked on the calendar, it's the 28th. But on the poster, it's saying we can have 2 27th nights, mashallah, because we're Bradford. But we know in the Fiji Islands, it's actually the 26th night, because they can see the hilal till 24 hours after we saw it. So there could be, right now on the planet, the 26th, 27th, and 28th. How does that work? If it's only 27th, only, then that's impossible, because the 27th isn't fixed for the whole planet. It's not like the Gregorian calendar, where today is, what is it today anyway? The 21st of March, the 18th of March, is it? 16th of March. If I went to Japan, what's the day? 16th of March. If I go to the Seychelles, what day is it? 16th of March. If I go to California, what day is it? 16th of March. If I go to Toronto, what day is it? 16th of March. But the Islamic calendar does not follow the Gregorian calendar. It follows the sighting of the hilal. And as you know, we all disagree on that, don't we? So therefore, how can it just be the 27th? Because if it's just the 27th, then that's impossible, because then it'd have to be the day after for somebody else. And how can it be the night of power for us today and the day after for somebody else and then the day after that for somebody else? I mean, there's 3 nights of power. Confusing? So it must be that there is one night of power, but we don't know what that day is. It could be 26, 27, 28 for us, or it could be a different day for somebody else. Hence the reason why we seek the night of, I use the word power, which is Qadr. We seek it. Why do we seek it? Because you and I aren't going to live really past the age of 70, are we? Maybe if we're lucky, we might get to 75. If we're really lucky, we might get to 80. But anything beyond that, we're really lucky, aren't we, to be living beyond that? 1,000 months, what's that in years? No calculator. 80? Good. 83 exactly. Well, 83.333 reciprocal, but we'll take 83. 83. Imagine you call Laylatul Qadr 10 times in your life. What would that be? 830. Now we can compete with the generations and the nations which came before. Now we have good deeds worth 800 years worth, like they did. That's why we have Laylatul Qadr. That's why Allah gave us it as a gift. Here you go. And this has only been given to this ummah. No other ummah has Laylatul Qadr. Only this ummah has. Hence the reason why we should take advantage of it. Not just today, tomorrow, alhamdulillah, just sitting here doing the dhikr, listening to the beautiful recitation of Imam Sahib. You stayed back, Allah bless you all, for the extra 20 minutes or half an hour that I spent with you. And inshallah, when you go home or whatever, you may stay awake for another 15, 20 minutes, do some extra dhikr. I can see the mu'takifuna here as well to perform i'tikaf. And likewise, you may get up a little bit earlier, half an hour, 45 minutes earlier, pray your tahajjud, connect with Allah. Your destiny is being written, your fate is being put together. It's already done. We're being now actioned to the angels to operationalize. So intervene there, ask them. But even if whatever's meant to be is meant to be, and you catch Laylatul Qadr tonight, or you catch it tomorrow night, or you caught it yesterday night, or even the night after, and inshallah Allah gives you tawfiq that you manage to catch it 10 times in the next 30, 40 years of your life, then at least you have some deeds there. One last point for mainly the youngsters. You know, youngsters play games. Well, no, even old people play games. There was a time when my age that you only played games when you were a kid. You know, like we had Commodore 64 and things like that. You know, anybody remember the Commodore 64? Yeah, that's going back a bit, isn't it? Right? I'm surprised you can remember. How old are you? 34, you okay. Yeah, and then we had that, was it Amiga or something? Yeah, remember the Amiga? We used to play these games when we were kids way back in the 90s, or no, 80s rather. In the 80s. And even before that, we used to have that other game where you had just a bat on the side and you go tuck, 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 and just one tennis. That was it. It was the only game we had. That was way back. We're talking maybe early 80s or something. And you know, there was a time where only children played games, but now obviously you hear like a 30-year-old is a bit of a gamer or something. You think, what? You're 30 years old, you're playing games? Real? Not that I'm saying anything wrong about it. I'm sure it's a really good pastime. So, you know, like sometimes you enter into a bonus round where you don't die. You know, normally in a game, you die, don't you? Yeah, whether it's a platform game or a fighting game, or you always have to die, don't you? Yeah, not like you know what I'm talking about. Don't give me that. Don't know what you're on. Do we die in games? Get the heck out of here. Yeah, we die in games, yes? Yeah, so we die in games, right? But then you enter in a bonus round. I used to play this other game way back in the day, the little blue hedgehog. Sonic. Yeah, and you used to go into another room where you could collect as many rings and you did die. Remember if you had the rings? Yeah, and you got hit, you lost all your rings, didn't you? Yeah. Yes. I told Buzurg, I said, no, Mufti Sahab, we used to do nothing in the masjid at that time. I don't know. And we Buzurgi mujhe dekha raha hai. Would there be a room you'd go into where you could collect things that you wouldn't die? Yeah? Or sometimes you'd learn a cheat code, isn't it? Like you move the joystick twice down, once left, press this, press that, and you get unlimited lives. Remember all these things? It's bringing back a bit of child, isn't it? SubhanAllah. Allah SWT gives you that this night, yesterday night, the other night. Free gift. He says, come and collect. Collect as much good deeds as you want. I want multiplied by 1. I want multiplied by 2. I will be multiplying it by 83.3 years. Only a fool would miss that bargain. You know, whenever the Christmas sales or the Boxing Day sales come on, or when this Black Friday, whatever it is, the ladies get up like at 3 in the morning, wake the husband up, come. What? You're dropping me off. Where? In the sales. And poor guy is driving, half asleep, and there's all these long queues for the sales. Because they want to save like £5-10 on something. Allah is offering you this rare opportunity to take 83 years of deeds. And there's plenty of time to sleep, inshallah. Plenty of time to sleep. Now is the opportunity to take that. So on that note, as I did promise you, I won't take up too much of your time. This is a time more for ibadah. These are just words of encouragement for myself and also for your good selves. Remember me in your du'as, and I will inshallah remember you in your du'as as well, or in my du'as. That's right. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Barakallah fiqh.
Catch up again tomorrow. Hopefully we're all ready and prepared. And big hats, big pockets. Those pitch pockets, but no deep pockets. And I've mentioned if you want to raise, I'm going to raise you. That's right. I've been thinking for 2 or 3 days. It's not been around. Yeah, they should.